Joining us now is former advisor to Newt Gingrich, presidential campaign, and Spieckerman media president, Lee Spieckerman. Lee, what do you make of this? Because Newt came out, former House Speaker, and said, hey, listen, y'all got to get it together. I'm paraphrasing, of course.
Right. Well, I've been so impressed with Paul Ryan, and I was shocked at what he said. I mean, he's the Speaker of the House, and frankly, the arrogance of it, that Donald Trump needs to meet what he and the other elites say are the Republican standard. It's as if Donald Trump did something wrong by getting the most votes. That's ridiculous. They need to come around to him, and I was very glad that Donald Trump said, I'm not going to adopt the Ryan agenda, which is frankly, too much, I think, the Washington elite agenda.
But I think that I believe, and I don't have any inside knowledge on this, that it has something to do with Speaker Ryan wants to reform entitlements, and Donald Trump has said, I'm not going to touch Social Security. And I wonder if this is a negotiating tactic to kind of formulate a more cohesive party platform coming out, that'll come out at the convention.
Well, you could say that Paul Ryan is like Trump in that respect. He's trying to make great deals. The problem is that Donald Trump really has that right. Senior citizens are the core constituency for Republicans. You cannot win without senior citizens. And these are people that have worked all their lives. Social Security and Medicare are not welfare programs. They're called, I think, as a misnomer, entitlements. They are social welfare insurance that these people paid into.
They paid in, but they're taking out more than they ever paid in.
Well, they are, and the system can be reformed.
I tell my own parents that. I'm like, I'm basically funding Social Security for you.
Well, you're very generous. You're a very good daughter. But the point I think that Trump is making is he doesn't want to go there except with a plan that is really robust and that is a comprehensive package. And one thing the Republicans have done so poorly, frankly, including Speaker Ryan, is market these ideas to the American people. Right. They've done a terrible job of that, and I don't think Trump wants to be victim to that. He wants to make sure that he has a complete package and doesn't even want to go there until we can.
Well, I mentioned Newt Gingrich, with Newt, Reince Priebus, and Sean Spicer all responding to Speaker Ryan's comments on Fox News last night. Let's go.
In the case of Paul Ryan, he made a big mistake today, and he needs to understand this. He is the Speaker of the House. He has an obligation to unify the party.
I don't think anyone expected this whole thing to come to an end on Tuesday. And I think it's going to take some time for some people to come to grips and to get to know Donald Trump and to get on board.
I feel very confident he wants to do it. He understands the importance of party unity. Mr. Trump said the same on Tuesday night. I think that, but look, we're 48 hours out of Indiana, where this came kind of as a shock this week. We're going to come together, I promise you.
Sean Spicer is promising that. Mitt Romney, meantime, is saying that he will not back, he won't support Donald Trump as the presumptive party nominee, to which Donald Trump, I'm sure, said, darn.
Yeah, well, and they need to come to him. And again, I think I guess they're still in post-traumatic stress syndrome from his becoming the presumptive nominee. I don't think it's just about entitlement reform. I think maybe Speaker Ryan wants to have a say in who the vice president is. But the arrogance of it, to me, and to do it publicly, is really shocking for Speaker Ryan, who I think has been such a solid guy. I mean, he should be leading the party unity efforts. It's like
maybe. And Jack, you can get in here, but maybe he's trying to unify the people in Congress, the Republicans in Congress, some of whom are not on board yet with Donald Trump.
To some of whom is a huge understatement. Only 12 of 300 people in Congress have endorsed the nominee. That is incredible. I mean, Trump has a serious problem here.
I can think of another word other than incredible to describe that. Maybe foolish.
Well, is it foolish, or could it be that a lot of these people are playing the long game? I mean, it is not impossible that Donald Trump turns out to be a disaster for the Republican Party, and some people want to assess that before they decide whether they want to hop on board. I want to take a more charitable position.
But it's in there, and you guys can get in here, but it's in the hands of these very people, whether it is a disaster or not.
Self-fulfilling prophecy. Self-fulfilling prophecy.
Well, not necessarily. I mean, if there is an international disaster, Trump is president, or even better for the country, he's just the nominee, and he does something foolish with North Korea or something.
But you could say the same about anybody.
Exactly.
I mean, so Trump went out.
Well,
we have a process, and Trump went out and got the most votes. So that, as Governor Huckabee mentioned, mentioned, he beat me, so I'm supporting him. And it's not up to debate now at this point of who should be the nominee or who shouldn't be. This man got the most votes, so he should be the nominee.
And
well, sure, I think it's fair for people to decide whether I really want to support the guy. I mean, you know, there's still voting yet to happen.
But you could say that about voters, and I'm going to give Lee the last word. You can say that about voters. It's your choice. It's your vote. But when you're a member of a party, that there is an expectation that you get behind the nominee for the presidency, right?
Yeah, well, they're telling him, we're not sure we support you, but now unify the party. I mean, that's literally what Paul Ryan said yesterday. That's unbelievable. One quick thing on Republican standards. What Donald Trump has endorsed, which is, yes, tariffs for unfair trade and American infrastructure improvement. You know where that crazy radical populist idea came from? Alexander, 14 Tony nominations, Hamilton. That was the American system that he's endorsing. And that was endorsed by Abraham Lincoln. That has been the fulcrum of the Republican Party up until into the 20th century. So what Donald Trump is talking about is real conservatism. Conservatism is pro-Americanism. It is not pro-globalism. It's tough enough for a country to get its own house in order and get its own act together. The best thing we can do is make this country strong and set an example for the entire world of a functioning free market economy.
And as to paraphrase the Wall Street Journal's editorial page yesterday, at least the American people are willing to fight for American greatness, because we're not going to sit by like Japan and France and watch our nation in decline.
Absolutely.
Lee, good to see you. Lee Spieckerman.
Great to be here.
Jack got all fired up. We were having a little lively debate right there. You know what we're also going to debate?